in the world is that you got going on? Did you say Anomalies?
Yeah, I said Anomalies.
Oh dear.
Anomalies.
Yes, yes. Okay. All right. How you feeling?
I'm okay.
You sound better than okay. I need some of that. What you got?
I got the THC patch.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. New stuff. Good stuff.
It's legal, you know what I'm saying? I got my card.
Hey, you got your card. Florida State resident, whatever. All right. So, hey, Anomalies, how y'all doing out there? Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is episode 18.
Ooh.
Wow. And we are here to first do what we always do at the beginning of the month.
Acknowledge celebrations in the month of May.
Happy birthday.
Anniversaries, milestones, graduations, business openings, divorce parties. Y'all know I always got to throw that in there. Whatever you're celebrating, happy, whatever it is, congratulations to whatever it is. We salute you.
I like it.
The days we're celebrating in the month of May 1st is National Fitness Day.
Oh, okay,
Tasha,
go ahead.
I might do my first yoga class with you on May 1st.
Let's do it.
All right. May 2nd is National Brother and Sisters Day. Y'all know I got 7 siblings, so May 4th is National Teacher Day. Should be an actual national holiday.
It should.
National Nurses Day. That one should also be a national holiday. May 9th is National Moscato Day, and that falls on Mother's Day. So drink your Moscato, mamas.
Yes, mama.
May 15th is National Armed Forces Day.
Woo-hoo.
May 24th is Aviation Maintenance Technician Day. And May 25th is National Wine Day. There are a lot of drinking days in May.
I say May is the drink. I mean, we start off I didn't put it there, but May 5th is Cinco de Mayo, and everybody can take margaritas, and Coronas. So yeah, May is the drinking month.
Cinco de Mayo, Moscato Day, Wine Day.
Just drink in May. That's basically.
Yeah, just get drunk in May.
Get drunk in May. That's what's up.
Yep.
We might have to figure us out a May cocktail for the month. Yeah, that sounds like a good thing. A May cocktail for the month. We'll put the recipe up on our social media once we figure out what the anomalous drink of the month is gonna be. Yeah.
So what we talking about today, Tasha?
We are talking about the current events of the day. Like, it's a whole bunch of stuff going on. We haven't done a current event since, it's been almost a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since George Floyd was killed.
Yep.
So, current events, we'll start with our quote of the day. And the quote of the day is, to me, the real state of the union is found in how Americans react to current events. And that's a quote by Henry Rollins. And that definitely makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They try and put this narrative out there that people are feeling this way and people are feeling another way. But when we look at people across the board, that's the real indication of the state of the union,
Mm-hmm.
And people are not happy. It's crazy right now.
Yeah.
So I guess since it was over a year ago and now we have a verdict in the trial against the former police officer in Minnesota that murdered George Floyd. And he was found guilty on all 3 counts that they put up. And I'm glad that there was a guilty verdict. I do know that they pushed the sentencing back to June. I believe it's June 25th now. So I'm curious as to what the sentencing is going to be.
Right. Because this won't be the first one where the person was found guilty of something, but what is the sentencing going to be? That's what determines how I feel about this. I mean, he got convicted of all 3 counts, and I'm happy about that, but what are they going to give him as far as time goes?
Absolutely. I think, yes, he's still a human being, and, just like anybody else, that whole guilty until proven innocent. But I mean, in this case, I feel like we wasted a whole bunch of time because we saw what we saw.
Mhm.
Like, there was nothing that you could say to change what happened. And I think the defense for him was it was a difficult case for them to even try and defend at that point. I really think he was pulling at or grasping at straws because they stayed on the whole intoxication or under the influence. And the expert witnesses for the prosecution were phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
They were absolutely phenomenal. There was the doctor who testified with the accent. I can't remember his name, but he just was so very clear with his explanations while he was on the stand that any layman could understand what he was saying. So them being able to pinpoint exactly, when he lost his life, all of that was so important. And it was that trial, I know, was exhausting because of how many times they showed that video over and over again. And I remember this time last year, I said I had not watched the video in its entirety, and up until the trial, I still had not watched the video in its entirety.
Right.
So, yeah. So now that I have, and that 8 minutes is now 9 minutes plus, it's a big, big, big difference that minute adds to, the agony that he went through.
Right. It was hard. It was hard to watch. I can imagine how hard it was for his family to just have to watch that over and over again. It's like reliving it over and over. And so I can imagine how they, felt. I don't even know if they actually all watched the whole thing, because I know I don't think I would have been able to watch it if it was like one of my family members, because I don't think everybody could be in the courtroom.
Right.
I think we were still following COVID guidelines, so only a certain ones were in there. But yeah, the prosecution's witnesses were phenomenal, including the bystanders.
Absolutely.
Including the bystanders. Everybody they held their own. When the old man started crying, I lost it. But other than that, everybody, stood tough. And it's like the defense witnesses, the one that was supposed to be the expert, he had to admit that he didn't even look at stuff. He didn't even read stuff. It was like, okay, this is my opinion, but I ain't even actually read it or look at it or listen to it, or it's like, bruh, did you even try? I would have been so mad if he was my witness.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, get up there and play. I don't know whose idea that was to go up there and play dumb or act like you didn't see something. Like, they were asking him questions, and it's like, you mean to tell me you didn't see that? What? Huh? How? How did you not see that? So I think that he was told to play dumb. Unfortunately, it didn't fare out well for them, because when the jury, when they went one by one and asked them, was that their, vote, verdict, yes, whatever, I forget the correct wording. But those jurors said yes with their chest.
Yeah, they said it with conviction.
Like, they was like, yes, yes, and yes. I mean,
yep.
those are some strong yeses.
Yeah.
So that was it was interesting to hear that. But we're not gonna stay on that. We're gonna keep going. And did you see that the 3 men that killed Ahmaud Arbery were charged with federal hate crime? They were indicted.
Yes. Amen and amen.
I like that, because even if the state doesn't do what they're supposed to do.
Because Georgia, they tried to sweep that under the rug.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because we ain't found out about it until months later.
Right. Right. So that was what, February, and then it was nothing really started happening until what, May, June? So
it made it seem like Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor all happened around the same time, but Ahmaud Arbery had happened earlier in the year. That happened before COVID.
Yep.
Before we started, shutting down for COVID.
Yep. You're right. Absolutely. And I'm glad to see that Attorney General Merrick is really, he's taken some steps that I didn't think was going to happen so soon, but he has. And that's, looking into these different police departments. First it was Minnesota, and then they announced the Louisville, and I think that's good. It's a start.
Yeah, got to start something.
Absolutely. We'll see what comes of that. So, but during that time of the verdict being read, there were some unsettling things that happened as well.
It's like the police went crazy when that verdict came down. As soon as the verdict came down, they were still gunning down Black people.
Right. Right.
Ma'Khia, what's her last name? Ma'Khia. That happened at exactly the same time that the verdict came down in the George Floyd trial. Like, same time. George Floyd Chauvin is guilty. Ma'Khia is dead, and they said that she was the one that called the police, because she was being jumped.
Yeah, that was absolutely Ma'Khia Bryant. The Bryant.
I can't find my cell phone. I don't know.
Yes, Ma'Khia Bryant. That's it. But yeah, and then we can go on over to North Carolina shortly thereafter, and Mr. Andrew Brown Jr. shot 5 times with the kill shot to the back of the head. We saw them come with the independent autopsy. And Isaiah Brown in Virginia, he had his car broke down at the gas station, and he was given a ride by the sheriff deputy, and that same sheriff deputy came back and shot him 10 times.
Yep.
But when you listen to the video, it's like, okay, you shot him 10 times, and you gonna tell him to drop a gun? Really? And you can hear on the video, after he's been shot, him moaning. You can hear on the call, and it's that he's still.
His dispatcher was like, I think they shot him.
Yeah.
She was telling him to hold his hands up, so that means that he was like this when he was shot 10 times. Because she said, put your hands up.
So the phone. Yeah, he was holding the phone. So I'm trying to figure out, when she asked him, did he have a weapon? And she clearly asked him. He said no. And then she clearly asked him, how are you walking down the street with a phone? And he said, because I can't.
Yeah.
But I mean, he had the phone. It was a phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that I pray for those families. I pray for him that he has a full recovery. That was a very, very sad situation.
Yeah.
But there was definitely some miscommunication or just some
It's
lack
like
of
you just dropped this dude off, which means that you have some type of a relationship with him. You know what
some
I'm saying?
rapport.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure that y'all had a conversation in the car. So you didn't think that when you got out of the car and he saw you as a friendly face, that you couldn't have a conversation with him? Like, I just saw you. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, what's going on? Like,
Absolutely.
they have no empathy or sympathy when it comes to us. You know what
And
I'm saying?
it wasn't like he was like he wasn't acting out. He was very,
Right.
very calm.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It ain't like he was acting erratic or nothing like that. So you when you come back, I would have been like, I just left this house. I know this kid or this man or whoever he is. Let me see what's going on. Let's have a conversation. Me and you just saw each other. So let's have this conversation. Like, what's going on? I just saw you. It's like, y'all don't come on. This is basic human decency.
It is. It absolutely is. And it's like you did the right thing, so why you couldn't come back and still do the right thing?
Exactly.
You had to come back with guns blazing. Like, I just feel like at the end of the day, having heard what I heard, at what point did you not pay attention to what the operator was telling you?
Mm-hmm.
Because she had the information. So did you just disregard what was there, what was being told? Because she's steady typing. So what is she typing?
Right.
So, prayers up for Isaiah Brown, that he makes a full recovery. And then Dante Wright was laid to rest, and I guess that case is pending. I still don't understand how a taser and a gun have been mistaken, but moving on.
Especially when you've been working for 26 years in the same profession, but okay, moving forward.
Yeah. Anthony J. Thomas Jr., the 17-year-old in Tennessee. Now
this the one with the little boy in school, right?
yeah. They said he had a weapon,
Mm-hmm.
and the cop thought he had shot the other cop that was in the vicinity, so he shot him. Again,
He thought he
unfortunate
shot the other cop.
Yeah, he thought he shot. He thought he had injured the cop behind him because the weapon was discharged. So he was protecting the other cop, from what the article that I read said. But again, a very unfortunate situation, and trying to put all the details together. They did have the body cam footage that was released, but just those little details that we will probably never know unless they make everything public. As we saw that the judge in North Carolina was like, no, we're not going to let y'all see, which means that there was absolutely some wrongdoing on the part of law enforcement, because had it been on Mr. Brown, then they would have gladly shown that whole video.
Yeah.
And then out here in Texas was a young man, Marvin David Scott III. He was taken into custody because they found a small amount of marijuana on him. I believe it was like just a joint or a blunt. And they pepper sprayed him and had him chained to the bed. Said he was exhibiting erratic behavior. They put the spit thing over him. Eventually, he passed away in custody. They killed him. That's my statement on the record. They killed him. And his death shouldn't have happened. They went far. Like, I don't understand. You have him detained. So why are we doing all that other extra shit?
That's what I was about to say. I'm so confused. What? All of this happened in a jail cell? The pepper spray and all that? Girl, what the hell?
Mm-hmm. So, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. But
they probably suffocated him or something.
Oh, I believe it.
So let's move forward.
Yes,
let's
ma'am.
talk about Rick Santorum. Let's talk about Rick Santorum.
What is Rick talking about?
Okay, so I don't have my phone in front of me because I don't know what I did with it when I went to get the mail. But he was speaking to some young conservatives, and I forget the name of the group. But he was talking about how American culture is American culture, unlike other places like Italy, I think he said, and some other place where other cultures have taken over. He said they came to the continent and it was a blank slate. It was nothing, nothing here. He was like, well, the Native Americans were here, but we don't have any Native American culture in American culture. We created, basically they created everything. And I'm like,
how?
First of all, any American culture that we have came from Native Americans.
I'm like, how? How do they insist on trying to erase?
Because, like the article said, nationalists like Rick Santorum try to come up with this blank slate so that it absolves their ancestors of the cruelty and the harm that they did. If I say I came over here with a blank slate, that means that I didn't do anything to anybody, that I came over here and you know what I'm saying? Like, I had a blank slate. So whatever I created, it didn't harm anybody or anything. And that absolves me or my ancestors of any responsibility of annihilating a whole native indigenous people. Like, come on, bruh.
So these bugs really walking around here with selective memory. We gonna select our history.
And the article, I think the article had to be by Native American because it said us when it was talking about Native Americans, but it was like you want to say that it was a blank slate, but you don't, because you don't want to talk about how your people came over here, did genocide, did germ warfare, and annihilated the Native American. I mean, they still here, but
barely.
Yeah, barely.
Because they're struggling right now.
They are struggling, and it's like you took their land, made them go to reservations and stuff like that, and just took away everything from them. And everything that everything that you learn how to till the soil, how to grow crops, came from them. Because y'all came over here stupid as hell.
They're still stupid as hell.
And then you went to somebody else's continent and took their people to come do your fucking work because you lazy.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
I don't know.
That's Rick Santorum and the young conservatives that he talked to, because they said they ass up there and listen to the shit, so they must think the same way.
Canceled.
And like I think Charlamagne said, like, everybody keep talking about let's just wait till the old races die off, but they're teaching their children that shit ain't never gonna die off because it's being
that's why we still here.
Exactly. Anyway, next conversation, because I'm mad.
Don't get mad. Don't get mad on the air. No. Vaccinations, honey. Let's talk vaccinations.
Okay. What you want to talk about?
So, there's still, I mean, people are coming around and going ahead and getting them, but these are, how did you make health a political thing? Like, I just don't understand. So you have some Republicans that feel like we shouldn't be forcing vaccinations on people.
Just this one though, right? Because we make our
Not alone.
vaccinations all the time.
Yeah, it's just this one.
So the vaccination thing is funny to me because you know how they're trying to have the COVID card that you show or whatever. They're trying to say that shouldn't be a thing, but you have to do that when you go to other countries that require certain shots. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to show that you got this shot before you go over there. So why are you upset about it? Like the stuff that's happening ain't new stuff. It ain't stuff that we as Americans have never had to do before. So
it should be on your immunization record.
Yes.
Period. You need that to go to school. You need that to do a lot of things. So yeah, it's not. I don't understand. It's just because it's COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally just because it's COVID. But the funny thing is, while y'all, I forget which one it is. I want to say it's Pfizer. That was the basis of the vaccine is from the stem cells of aborted babies. And it was a discussion about Catholics telling their parishioners not to take the vaccine because they're against abortion and because that vaccine is using the stem cells of aborted babies. I think it was Pfizer's. I don't believe it was Moderna. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to look up that one. But I do remember the discussion. I just can't remember which vaccine it was. And I think that's very interesting that you would tell people to put themselves in further risk when they can be, you know. But again, we all know that when it comes to pro-life, it's convenient for Republicans when they need to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And they are not pro-life when it deeply affects them, i.e. their wife it's either their wife or the child that she's carrying. And now we are okay with abortion.
Right.
But they don't look at that as abortion. So moving on to something a little lighter.
Okay.
Did you see the Oscars?
I did not watch the Oscars.
So let me just say, Regina King opened up and she spoke on, she's a mother of a black son. And so she spoke on her truth, her reality. And she looked gorgeous, by the way. That dress was absolutely.
I saw the dress, the blue dress. The what color? It's like the color, our color, that blue.
It was like ice blue. No, it was like ice blue.
Okay.
Gorgeous. And she been killing it. I don't know where she get these dresses from. I don't know who made that one, but she's been on a roll on the carpets. That girl been killing it, and I love me some Regina King.
Yeah.
But we had a record number of blacks that won. There was the hair and makeup category. The two ladies that won. I think it was hair, makeup, and wardrobe. I believe it was.
For what?
For Ma Rainey.
For Ma Rainey.
Yeah. And that win for me was a little lackluster. I think it was far-fetched.
What was extraordinary about Ma Rainey?
Nothing. I mean, Viola had on the fat suit, but at the end of the day, they just looked greasy and hot.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it wasn't nothing spectacular.
That hair was made out of what? A boar's hair or something, that wig she had on. I was looking at something and they said that they didn't even know if the hair would curl. The lady that made the wig. It was a horse hair or something.
I don't know, child, but I don't understand. I mean, great, they won, but to me, it felt like they didn't do anything significant in that category. Like they didn't transform somebody that was just out there. It was just like, okay, we're gonna give it to them because we need to give this to another Black person. I don't know. It wasn't all that to me. So then we had Miss Glenn Close. Miss Glenn Close, she was like, yeah, I know that song by EU. Now, a lot of people were saying that it was scripted. She couldn't have possibly known all of that information. And whether or not it was or not, it was her doing the butt for me.
That was funny. I saw that.
No. Like, how she go get up in the middle of the Oscars and do the damn butt?
That was funny.
That was hilarious. It really kind of lightened the mood.
That was pretty. And then, too.
Dress was beautiful. That's your favorite color, huh? Yes, it was. And you know, they were saying that they had shifted the Best Actor award to the end because they thought that Chadwick Boseman was going to win that award. And so they felt like that would be a nice way to end the evening.
Who won it?
Sean Connery.
What?
For The Father. You know what? I'm a huge Sean Connery fan. I have no issues, but he won. And he moved back to Wales, so he was in the bed when they announced this win. Sean was asleep. But I want to see that whole movie now because the clips from that they showed looks like it was amazing. I mean, he has crazy roles already, but I really want to see that. The father plays a father with battling dementia.
Basically. I thought Sean Connery would die.
No, ma'am. No.
Sean Connery.
He's like 72, I think they said. 72 or 74.
We're not talking about James Bond, are we?
He was a James Bond.
Sean Connery died.
Sean Connery did not die. Sean Connery is alive and well, ma'am.
Sean Connery?
Sean Connery. Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Sean Connery. Sir Sean Connery.
Sir Sean Connery is alive, ma'am. He just moved to Wales.
Tasha, look up Sean Connery.
Well, then I don't know who that was that won. Let me see. Hold on. What did Sean Connery won? Who is this? Oh, shit. Anthony Hopkins, my bad.
Girl, I was about to say, look, I'm sitting here like, Sean Connery. I was about to say that was a good tribute to him too. Cause he dead.
Yeah, no. It's Anthony Hopkins.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
But that's another one of my favorites.
Yeah, I like Anthony Hopkins too. I like Anthony Hopkins too. That's the Silence of the Lambs man, right? Sir
Yes, 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 indeed. Okay.
Father is the name of it. We gotta watch that. Where is it?
I don't know. We're gonna have to look it up.
Okay. Anyway, y'all, Thompson then made my head hurt talking about Sean Connery was in the bed. Girl, where?
He is forever asleep. Shit.
Man. Anyway.
Sleeping real
good. Let's talk about butter cookies.
Yes, ma'am.
Boo!
Let's talk about butter cookies. Y'all, so Y'all remember them tin cans with the butter cookies that your grandma or your mom used to have, depending on how old you are. So I went into Burlington the other night and I linked down. You know, they have when you go into the register, they have the impulse shelves with all the other little stuff that you don't need, but it grabs your attention until you end up grabbing something. So I'm looking at all the stuff, and I just so happen to step back, and something caught my attention. I got milk, and I'm like, got milk? What is that? So I bend down, and it's this big old can of butter and chocolate, the original butter and chocolate cookies. Oh my gosh. I was like, I ain't have nothing else in my hand to buy, but guess what? I stood in that line to get them. I love those cookies. So Bina is looking at me like this because she loves those cookies too. And
Boo.
I've been snacking and munching on them. But, I mean, Beans,
What?
you too can get some.
Shut up.
So the father is on Prime
Okay. Cool.
Video for $19.99.
Oh no. What I got to pay for it? Amazon Prime?
Yes. Actually, it looks like it's in the movie theater here.
It'll cost less to go to the movies.
Yep. So will. I might do that. That's cool.
It's a scary movie coming out. Well, by the time they hear this, it'll be the past. But April 30th. It's a scary movie coming out. The movie.
What movie?
I don't forget the name of it, but the mama died and she come back as a ghost, but not a nice ghost, a scary ghost.
Oh.
And the little girl is the only person that can see it. In the previews, the little girl was the only person that can see her. But she can see the scary ghost or monster, whatever it is, behind people.
Oh.
I want to see that. Lamar's scared though.
I'm scared too. You let me know how it was, since I'm not watching it.
I don't know, y'all suck. Anyway, Anomalies. The quote of the day. To me, the real state of the union is found in how Americans react to current events. Henry Rollins. I just want to say what happens to one person happens to everybody. So don't think you're immune to it just because it's happening to a certain race of people. Don't start acting like you care when your children get shot dead in the street. Anyway.
When we come back, I think we might need to talk about how they passed a bill regarding Asian hate in like 3 months.
Yep.
Just let that sink in. Okay.
All right, Anomalies. We love y'all. Don't forget to
Butter
tune
cookies.
in. Shut up. Subscribe. We are on IG and Facebook as Anomalous Black Women. We have a TikTok that I haven't been on lately, but I'll get on there. And that's it. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
Mm-hmm.
And you can follow us individually. I am Coach Bina. And
she is a whole bunch of stuff on there. Which one? Professor Poise?
Yes, I'm Professor Poise.
Professor Poise.
Poise
Live.
Yeah, for now. Until I get tired. Then it's all gonna be one.
We love y'all.
Y'all be good, be safe, be well. Doodles.